Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Rodeo Time, the podcast. Got some new guests on the scene, Mr. Cody Webster. What's your middle name?
Lane.
Cody Lane Webster. That's Rodeo Cowboy right there. That's Rodeo. Please tell me it's after Lane Frost.
It is.
That's awesome.
It is.
I did not know that.
Cody and Lane.
Cody Lane, both of them.
Yep.
You're named after Cody Lambert and Lane Frost.
Yep.
And now you're going to your 9th NFR.
Rolling, baby.
That is bad to the bone. I did not know this about you. Wow.
Wow.
What's your middle name?
Ryan.
We got Cody Ryan over here. Oh, man. Who
Cody
Ryan
Garretson.
Cody Custer.
Were you really? Another world champion. That's pretty bad. That's cool.
But yeah. Ryan totally throws it off.
What's the Ryan? Where'd that come from?
Only God knows.
Yeah.
Only God knows.
Golly. Well, me and Donnie won't tell you who we're named after.
Okay.
Ryan Garretson. I'm sorry, Cody Ryan Garretson. Cody Lane Webster joining us today. We have a great talk. We talk about sponsors, talk about NFR, talk about getting started in bronc riding, life, what it takes to get started if you want to be a stock contractor, what it takes to get started if you want to be a rodeo cowboy in general, specifically bronc riding, bullfighting. Check out Cody Webster on Instagram because that's where hey, Lisa.
That's the business.
Can we find out how much we owe him before the day's over? I owe you some money. We've been selling your merch. I owe you a check.
Blythe, cut this out.
No, you don't have to cut that out. I mean, when I handle your and JB's merch, and you guys get paid for it. So
yes,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's public knowledge.
Support rodeo.
Because some people might like Cody Webster and JB Mooney, but they don't like Dale Brisby.
Probably most people.
Well, rest assured, they get most of that.
I ain't ordering none of that DB stuff.
I ain't going on
JB.
that Dale Brisby.
I'm gonna get me a JB.
I'm gonna get me a JB poster. I'm gonna get me a Cody Webster.
Hang that up there in the wall right there.
Man, I don't care about that Dale Brisby. That joker. a lot of non-Dale Brisby fans out there. But if you're listening to this podcast, you probably aren't one of those non-fans. So anyways, check out dalebrisby.com for the merch. And I got this new one on. Get around them, Dale.
Get around them, Dale.
It's my only green shirt.
Come on.
Probably won't sell that well, but I love it. It's like
I like how much you can tell that's you. Like it looks
Get around them, Dale.
like someone just took that picture and just silhouetted it out.
Yes,
like,
that's a pretty good silhouette.
And it's like I'm chasing a calf, and it's like imagine a herd of a bunch of real cowboys. And they're pushing the herd, and this little doggy calf who's not going anywhere.
Loaded.
Yeah, just loaded. Like just looks like crap. And it's like he takes off, and Dale pulls his head down. I'm gonna go get him. And then somebody yells, "Get around him, Dale!" Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of like that kid in the basketball team. You're winning by 40. Coach puts him in. In the middle of the fourth quarter, and he makes a shot.
Yeah, he makes
and
a
everybody
three.
goes absolutely nuts. That's kind of what it is. Dale going after this doggy calf. Get around him, Dale. Anyways, whatever. That's a long explanation of why I put this on this shirt. We came up with another shirt idea in this podcast. What?
Oh man,
There's a American
Hock it
flag.
in them. Bareback Riders.
Hock
Yeah.
it in.
Bareback
Hock it in
Riders.
them. Yeah, we had a great podcast. Great talk. We could have talked for another hour, but we got to go buck some broncs on the beaches.
I need some barbecue.
Oh, yeah, lunch. Let's go get lunch. Enjoy the podcast and check out dalebrisby.com. And now for the intro music. Y'all gonna cowboy hat it?
Yep.
You can wear
I
it.
guess.
I got
mean,
Flying W. There's one right there. I think there's one right. It should be on the ground. If you want one, Cody.
yeah,
You
I'm
don't
gonna
have to.
I'm gonna have to because
I
can't get the.
we
Right.
did. We went and did a. We went and did a podcast with Boots ONeill over at he's 90, still ranches.
How
Ranching,
cool is that?
works on the sixes, and we weren't gonna.
That's where Jimmy's headed.
We weren't.
Yeah.
Who's Jimmy?
Yellowstone.
Jimmy on Yellowstone.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah,
That's where he's headed. Going to the sixes.
I haven't caught up.
Oh.
Well,
Fresh out.
anyway, so we weren't going to not wear cowboy hats doing a podcast with boots. So we all wore our I'm just saying it's not unusual to wear a cowboy hat on the podcast, but I like wearing a cap during the podcast because you can wear these headphones and then you can hear yourself.
Yes.
That way, if you sit back and you can hear that.
I don't know, Dill. Can you hear me now?
Exactly. Yes. So that's the difference. That's why we wear caps. But I was thinking about it this morning, actually. It's funny that y'all were wearing.
Like, we need some kind of different headphones.
You can never.
Cowboy hat.
I feel like you can never be out of place. Like, when in doubt, wear your cowboy hat.
Always.
But you can be out of place in a ball cap.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You can be out of place in
Especially
a ball
for
cap.
Boots ONeill. I mean,
Boots ONeill.
90 years old, still ranches.
At rodeos, you can get fined.
Yeah,
You know, like not only are you out of place, but like, hey, also give us $250. Oh, can't wear a cap in the arena. So I think when in doubt, you wear your cowboy hat. So, don't you think, Donnie?
Yeah, absolutely.
God, that was so funny. We went to Donnie. We had an intern, Nick, and we went to Jennings to Ween, I think.
Yeah, we're day working.
I think we were day working.
That's on that day ranch.
But like, we got up at 3:00 because we had to be there by whatever time, 6, I think, and we got
saddling in the dark.
saddling in the dark,
Yeah,
leggings, everything, and we get out there and they start dropping people off at the butt crack of dawn, and I look back and Nick's wearing his ball cap and everybody else is, and we get
Cowboy
back.
hat.
Yeah, we get back and we're running them through the chute, and he was like, "Man, I didn't get the cowboy hat memo."
That's not what you want to say. 'Cause then you're setting yourself up for total failure.
I'm gonna. I said, "What in the fart did you think we were going to do?" And I didn't say the fart, but I was like, "What did you think we were going to do?" And
Selling popcorn. I don't know.
we're not going to. I mean, like, I do sell ball caps, and I wear a cap, a lot actually. But I mean, there's just this time where it's like, yeah, we gotta put on cowboy clothes. We're doing cowboy things.
How often though? How often do you get to the rodeo though? And like, I don't know. I've had multiple buddies like show up. Hey man, I get behind the chutes. You're wearing a ball cap and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No. Well, I didn't know. You're at the rodeo. What do you expect?
You cannot use my companion pass
No,
today.
absolutely not. Never, ever.
Yeah, but there's a time and a place. But anyways, I do not like being horseback with a cap. I can do it occasionally, but like in the arena, I can do a t-shirt. But like if we're going out somewhere, I gotta be, unless it's super windy.
There is that, and it's been like that here lately at home. I've actually been riding with my hood up, tied on, to be honest.
Yeah,
I hate to admit that right here, but it's been the truth lately.
Extreme cold or really windy.
Really windy.
Those are two scenarios.
Yesterday we're trying to doctor some calves, and like KJ's telling me, hey, well, he's up there mumbling. He mumbles anyways, and I'm like, what? And ride up. I'm like, I got to get literally like from me to you and like turn my ear. What did you say?
Yeah.
Cal 2107. Kef.
KJ's not the loudest.
And he mumbles.
Bunch.
But we got him doctored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking wind.
The one thing though I'll say is like cowboy boots. Cowboy boots are another deal. When in doubt, wear cowboy boots. But there's a lot of situations where I don't have a lot of doubt.
Not here.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying
Not me.
I'm saying there's probably more situations where you're like, I'm not going to doubt this one. I don't have any doubt. I'm going to an autograph session. I'm going to wear regular shoes. Would you agree?
I have to.
Tinny
anymore.
runners.
Yeah, the tinny runners. I'll wear boots just when I absolutely have to. Special occasions. Obviously, you're gonna cowboy boot up, but I'm literally to the point where like I will wear my shoes or my slip-on shoes or my Justin casuals, whatever it is. I'll wear them like to the truck, saddle my horse, put my horse in a trailer, drive to the pasture. When I get out, I'll then put on my boots and spurs, get on my horse, do whatever I need to get done. The minute I get off the horse, I take my boots right back off. And I think it's just from, I don't know, it's become probably a little bit more of a habit, but I do know like the broken feet and injuries and taping your ankles every week for 3 hours a night for.
Yeah, and you're a bullfighter.
And
it's hard to make rounds with a bull wearing boots.
It is.
I'll say that, like, being the creator of the phrase, you ain't no cowboy, there's probably a lot of people listening saying you ain't no cowboy. But if you've had 2 back surgeries or, like, any surgery from pretty much the shoulders down, and you cowboyed for a living and I mean, like,
it's just
if
like,
we're going to, like, feed cows and we might not get out of the truck, like, I just don't have like an intense desire to put on
boots,
because I gotta wear riding heel boots. Like, I'm gonna wear a riding heel.
That's
all
how
I
G
own.
is.
Yeah.
I don't have like a roper heel on
Yeah.
any pair of boots that I own. So, like, when I wear a cowboy boot, like, I know it. I know I'm wearing a cowboy boot, and so
It's like
because he's
being
so
in
short.
Las.
You know, he has to get that extra.
oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
a little taller. Like being in Las Vegas for the PBR finals last week, there's multiple of them older guys that, walk up and you look down and they're wearing tennis shoes now, and you're like, hey, where's your boots? Man, anymore, it just kills me to be out here on this concrete, around in them boots.
Yeah. They got to walk 6 miles to the airport just to get to Vegas.
Yes.
You got the parking garage and and then all of a sudden you get to Vegas. Now you got to walk 3 miles down the strip, walk to the T-Mobile, walk back to the hotel, go to at no point in there did you ride a horse. So
Ever.
it's like, I'm probably not going to need my boots. But now I'm not going to tell someone if they are wearing boots in that scenario that they shouldn't.
No.
It's like
that's common
major
respect.
props.
Yeah.
You're wearing a cowboy hat. You're wearing boots, and you're like, you do all that in some boots, like, major props, because
The times have changed.
and
You're not going to be walking down Las Vegas Boulevard and here comes a roping steer flying at you that got out. I don't know. Maybe it could happen like craziness, but
I don't know.
it's not going to happen.
I don't know that the times have changed as in, like, necessarily, well, it's not like a blanket statement, the times have changed. It's more like someone like Boots ONeill, he's probably not going to do, just on a regular year, he's not going to make a lot of trips like that.
No.
He's not going to walk 6 miles through the...
He's working, riding horses,
he's not going to walk. He's not going to probably make it to the PBR World Finals.
No. His daily life is way different than what...
But if he were like
doing.
you, where he spent, a month a year in Vegas, it might be different. He might entertain the idea of, like,
I
let me
think
put
Boots
some
would
slip-ons
probably
on.
find a pair of shoes.
Also, we've also got to take into consideration he might not be a good one to use since that's his name.
Boots, yeah. I didn't even really
So
think of that.
that's his name. So he's probably not going to be found. Like, all right, let's use someone. Tom Morehouse, another
Anybody.
legend. Tom Morehouse. Another guy came to mind. Reggie Hatfield. Yeah, like he's had some back pain. Gone to see the same doctor. Like, I could see Reggie. Reggie goes and watches the NFR. He used to be the wagon boss at the Sixes for a long time, and like, worked at the Wagners. Like, he's works at all these big ranches.
The ledge.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna
another
call him.
legend.
Not legend, the ledge.
Right. And so, like, I could see him, if he goes to the NFR, he might throw on, like, some slip-on Justins.
Some casuals.
That's okay. I feel like we've talked enough about footwear.
What about, we got to introduce Cody Garretson.
Cody Garretson, he's been working for Webb doing what?
Welding. Well, I'd have to say he's a part-time welder. He's a part-time
All-around hand.
hunter, but full-time bronc rider.
Okay.
Full-time.
And you brought your saddle, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. You're ready to strap one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ready to go.
You're going to do it, then talk about it.
Yeah.
We should have done the podcast after.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he would talk that much anyways, after or before getting on. It's just, he's a cool cat. Just likes riding bucking horses.
What,
I think
where you from?
Donnie could probably relate to that.
Yeah.
I'm from Tuttle, Oklahoma.
How far is that from Wayne?
About an hour
45 minutes
You
an
drive.
hour.
Oh,
Right.
not bad. How long y'all been knowing each other?
since we were about 14.
Have you worked over there at the
The
Flying
W.
Any
W,
before?
just
Oh,
the
yeah.
W?
Yeah.
It's the W.
It's
Yeah.
just the W.
The
Okay.
W.
We dropped flying.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the W now.
Okay. All right.
It landed.
It landed.
That's how everybody is now. Like it used to be, heading over to West, go to Flying W. Now it's just like going to the W. You know,
Yeah.
DeKevis is probably the
Yeah,
main culprit of that.
Yeah, the Kevin started that.
The Kevis.
I like that kid a lot.
He hates working. He hates getting up early.
Yeah.
He's lazy. Double A, Austin Ashley, same deal.
So
Worthless.
Lazy. They're worthless.
So whenever they
The whole time,
They show up
we were
just
working.
in time to see what you've gotten done that morning, just in time to walk up as well. Hey, man, it's time to go to lunch. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I feel
Yeah.
like at some point we'll need a follow-up podcast with the Kevis and who? Who else?
Austin
A.
Ashley, double
Okay. The double A batteries. Man, your battery's low today.
A.
Austin.
His is low all the time.
all the time.
We need to get double A, some new double A's. Maybe you switch to Duracell. You know, get the Energizer Bunny up in here.
It ain't going to help him.
So we need.
Thank God they can fight bulls.
We got a follow-up coming with them guys. Well, you know, and there's a lot of stock contractors nod their heads that there's a lot of bullfighters are that way.
Yeah.
They got the talent. All they want to do is fight bulls. And
Wow.
committee
But
hire.
that-
We're not talking about committee hires. That's
But you
a
know
little
what?
different.
Like I was in that same boat. Like till this day, Alan McCloy gave me a bunch of my very first jobs right here in Texas. And dude, up early in the morning sorting
I'm talking about a legend. Also
Yeah.
a hard ass.
and double hard ass. But
That's the kind of guy like, all right, what stories can we tell?
like
Oh, hey. We got
Alan
some-
McCloy,
But I'm saying there's a
There's-
couple you probably don't want to share, you know?
no, there's definitely not. But I mean, I got to give credit where credit's due. That guy, till this day, I mean, there's still things that go on that'll happen, like, you know, a situation right in front of me, and it clicks in my mind, like Alan told me to do something or how to do something, how to handle a situation.
That's what
But
I'm saying. Like, the
Why
dude's
in
like,
the hell he cannot be like a normal stock contractor and use baby powder on the latigo of the flank?
yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
waxing
no.
it.
I'm out there 112, 115 degrees. Hey, Webb, get over and wax some flanks.
Wax them?
You
Yeah,
take
wax.
cooking wax.
Yeah.
It's like these bars of cooking wax. And
Yeah.
you have to string it out, and you got to wax both sides of this. It's,
Does it help?
Yeah. It's like a consistency of
hell
like
no,
a
it don't.
saddle strap.
It don't help.
Saves
Baby
him
powder's
baby
a-
powder.
That's exactly what he said.
See,
You could go through, 4 or 5 rodeos with this cooking
Isn't-
oil bar
Isn't
versus a baby powder
like
every rodeo.
$1.79?
It's not that much. He could have took the money out of my check, which I mean wasn't much because I had to sell cotton candy in order to make enough money to get back home. But I was getting to rodeo.
I feel baby powder and tape. They're like the two least expensive things in a rigging bag that nobody ever has.
Ever.
Yeah.
Hey man, he got some tape.
Let me borrow some of that baby powder too. And neither one of them ever show back up.
No.
Dude, it's
Gone.
like they got a $2,500 saddle. They got $500 like custom spurs with their name on them. The shaps these days, what are they like? $800
$850.
for some
I
shaps.
just got some last January.
Halter, maybe $220 for a nice halter. Reins are $75.
How much a rain? 75
$75
bucks.
for the rein.
You're a little
Yeah,
low. You're a little low.
I'm
in
a little
there.
And they
low.
got a dollar roll of tape that these jokers can't show up for.
And even the stock contractors, like,
Hey, I'm one of them, so I'm kind of throwing rocks at myself here.
You just go through them so fast and you forget.
I got to
go
tape
buy
up
more.
everything.
Yeah.
Well, that comes with age.
Well,
We're not as young as we once
no,
was.
I need
Dale.
that's true too. I got binds. I like to put binds on each finger.
like your
I look like a bareback ride.
Drip down.
And I usually tape up this hand, but I don't. I ride with this hand. I put binds on both hands just to.
So when you double
Anyways.
grab, you don't lose it.
Yeah,
Well, it's a mental deal.
yeah.
Like you just got to feel good about what you're doing. If you
Yep,
feel
for sure.
good, you're going to perform a little bit better. Maybe not, but
It's kind of like I remember being on JV football. You you see like the varsity, they're taping up different things. They got different armbands, and you just feel like you need it. You don't know why the guy's got like a cowboy collar thing, but you want
But
one.
it looks cool.
But it looks cool, and you
Well,
want
like,
one.
for us, it's like you're a kid rodeoing, and you're like, I just can't wait to get my first patch. Speaking of, we got to address that situation, but I wanted to get a patch on my shirt. Like, I wanted to have a sponsor.
Yeah.
You know, endorsements. Like, and nowadays, like being in Vegas last week, like they had the mini bull riding finals there, and every little snot nosed kid has 57 patches plastered all over them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what did we do wrong?
Well, if they got 57, they probably paid for 57 patches. Like,
Right.
They probably pay like, $3 or $4 per patch.
But
So
like,
probably
I
got most of them
remember
right.
though, like going through all them years of getting started and then like climbing the ladder. You know, we were talking about the ladder on the way here. You know, like you don't start out at the top of the ladder, and that's what is so hard for, I think, especially in bullfighting nowadays. Is like everybody just wants to get a pair of cleats. I'm going to the top. Like, yeah, you're gonna go to the top maybe eventually, but you got to start out at the bottom and earn your way up.
Well, and a lot of those kids, their parents are just asking different people to sponsor them.
Right.
And the
to
problem
me, I think
is
that takes away
100%.
That takes away, like, when I got my first, like, I went through all them years, all the hard times, the busted bones, the surgeries, and then I get nominated for Bullfighter of the Year in the PRCA, and go to the awards banquet, don't win, and go up, get my plaque, and I mean, I'm on cloud 9 just to get a plaque, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, this is a big deal, especially in like 2011 or 10, whatever year it was. And then I'm walking down through there, and everybody's parting ways and leaving out of there. And there's a really become one of my great friends, Tom, with the Justin Boot Company, that says, "Hey man, you're Cody Webster?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Cody Webster." And he said, "Well, I'm Tom with Justin Brands, and I've been trying to hunt you down." Gives me an envelope, and it's got a contract in it for my first endorsement. And like, I just remember, like, not another poor day, boys. Like, we're going to the top now. 100%. I got a sponsor, know. And then, but it was just such a surreal, cool thing to get my first endorsement, and I hope the younger kids, and maybe they are getting endorsements, I don't know, but I just hope that the parents aren't trying to run their life as far as living out the kids' their dreams through the kid, but at the same time, you see it all the time. Like, pump the brakes, back up off of them, and
when someone asks,
let them enjoy it.
How do I get a sponsor? And the answer is you don't. The sponsor gets you. And for a number of reasons. Number one, like, when you go to someone and say, "Can I have this?" You've given up all the leverage. He who speaks first loses. That's why when, like, there's a horse for sale, really, first thing somebody asks, like, "Well, what's your budget?" When you say that budget, you lost. No, you say, "How much do you want for the horse?" You're the one trying to sell the horse. When he says how much, then he lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like I'm not saying they're a loser. I'm just saying in the game of pitch and catch, you give up that leverage. When and correct me if I'm wrong, but of the sponsors, like, think of the ones that you've gone out and hustled, which you are the person, like, your best bullfighter there is. Like, you've been to countless. We're working on getting close to double-digit NFR appearances. You have permission to call somebody.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but of the people you've called compared to the people that called you, which ones do you normally get the better deal with?
The ones that call you.
The ones that call you. And I've called some people too, and people have called me. I get the better deal.
And it's all about getting started. I mean, you can't be playing in the minor leagues and expect to go get what, the top guys in the leagues get.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I've seen so many guys that if they would stood their ground a little bit longer or waited things out.
Like, he who holds his breath the longest wins. If you had a blank vest, imagine a rookie in the PBR. He goes to his first PBR World
Okay,
Finals
no, hey,
and
let's
says
break this
no to every sponsor. He goes through, he's on TV, he's got nothing on his vest. Imagine his first deal, how big that would be.
Imagine Nathan Harp getting his first selection to the NFR this year. We're right here 2.5 weeks.
That's a prime example.
From national finals, and like we're talking, we're getting all of our jerseys designed and dealing with all the chaos. And then Nathan, he's sitting over there he's like, man, I don't care, whatever you want to do. Like I don't have a sponsor. And like, but to me, thinking this cat's going into Vegas.
Yep.
First NFR, he's going to fight bulls lights out because he's that good. What possibility can come out of this for him?
Exactly.
It's going to be huge.
100%. And then all of a sudden, he's got the leverage because they call him. They're like, hey, Nate, what's it going to cost? Now all of a sudden, he gets to answer that. Whereas if he were to call
$35 and a Coke.
If he were to call them, he would be like, well, just in the game of chess, of horse trading, if he were to call Justin and say, hey, I'd like to work with y'all, they're going to be like, the first thing they're saying would be like, oh, I don't know, Justin. Like anybody would say this, be like, oh, man, we'd love to work with you, but we got a budget. It's at the end of the year and blah, blah, blah. Whereas if they call you, it's more like, hey, all right, that's fine, but you're going to have to pay for me.
Yep.
You know? But imagine like the phone
and they know who he is.
If someone whoever's hot, Jose, goes through his first PBR World Finals with a blank ass vest.
He did.
And then I'm saying nothing.
I don't remember seeing it.
Not even a PBR
The first
sticker.
year he showed up, he had nothing.
Imagine the first call after the finals. That's a big call.
That's a big, big deal.
So like, but if he had
not to mention he already won $300,000,
but if he had called like 6 people, if he had called them before he's established, and then he had like signed these little bitty deals, well, now all of a sudden somebody's not as interested to pay as much money to be the 7th sticker on his vest. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Agreed. But I think I think a lot of it too is like how you carry yourself after being so desperate, wanting to get that first endorsement versus getting the guy walking up saying, hey, here's the contract, you know.
Yeah.
Then you carry yourself in a different way. And I think that speaks volumes going into battle too, you know.
Well, and the other thing, it's like the reason I don't like it with these parents, it's like you're just teaching these kids to just walk around with their hand out. Because at the end of the day, Rodeo Time, for instance, like I love helping kids. And most of the time someone reaches out, I will help. But what I'd like to see, like at the end, this is a for-profit deal. Like it's not dalebrisby.org. You know, this is a for-profit thing. You know, this is free country, capitalism. We're trying to make money, and I got to pay bills. And so, like, if you come to me, yeah, we're all trying to make a living here. If you come to me and you're like, hey, I want a deal, like, okay, what you gonna do for me? Like,
what
you
can
want me
you
to
offer?
You want me to give you this money? How am I gonna make it back? How's it gonna benefit me? And sometimes, dude, they haven't even thought about that.
Right.
Like, dude, this isn't a charity. I got 2 or 3 nonprofits I give to, and then I got 2 churches.
Yep.
Like my church home, and then there's another church I like to help. Like, I don't like to talk about, and you're not going to hear me tell you how much, because that's not why I give. Like, that's between me and God. I don't even like the damn church to know how much money I gave them. Like,
I like helping out people,
but,
you know, when I can.
So this isn't a charity. I like to go with my gut, you know. But like, if you live in America, you got this nice car, you're going down the road rodeoing, you're like, you got some, like, you're not a charity situation. You know what I'm saying? So like, what can you?
But how long have you worked at building this brand? How long have I worked at getting to where I am fighting bulls? How long has Cody, Donnie been riding broncs? Like it's and that's what is just crazy. And talking about it yesterday, you know, like people don't, they see us in Las Vegas last week at the PBR finals. They're going to see us in 2 weeks in Vegas at the NFR. Oh, well, that's just this glamour life that we live, but they don't see the, you know, Monday I'm out there running suicides in the arena and fighting live 100%. Cattle at home, you know, just me and another guy, you know, they don't see the days that you can't get up out of bed and walk. People just don't see all what really goes into to be where we're at.
Right.
And it's mind changing. And like for all young kids coming up, like I remember sitting like in a restaurant, I got to go with Frank, and I was probably like 11, 12, 13 years old, somewhere in there. Got to go with him one of the PBRs, and that's the first time I'd got to really meet Chris Shivers and these big time bull riders, and we're all sitting there eating lunch, and they're like, "What are you getting, Shivers?" He's like, "Nah, I ain't eating." What?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not eating. They don't have anything that is healthy. Like, it was a burger joint. He's like, "I'm not eating a burger." I'll wait till we leave, and I'll pick something up on the way to the room. And I was like, it really stuck to me, I was like, Chris Shivers won't eat a hamburger, And it's not that he has anything against hamburgers, just the fact that he's a professional. And what I'm getting at on this is, like, if you're wanting to be, like, I hear it all the time. I ain't going to the NFR till I make it. I'm not going to go watch a perf. I ain't going to pay for a ticket to go watch the PBR finals till I make it. And I think that's the biggest mistake, because, like, I remember, like, where I was sitting when things crossed in my mind that's my target.
Right.
That's what I'm aiming for now.
Yeah.
And you can say that sitting at home or sitting in, Pauls Valley, Oklahoma at the IPRA rodeo trying to, I want to make it to the NFR one day. But when you go and you buy a ticket and you sit right there and you watch a perf, it changes you. And I think for all young guys coming up, get out, go see what the pros are doing. Go see what, the Casey Fields, the Tilden Hoopers, the Stetson Wright, go see what them guys do on a daily basis. It's way different than what you imagine.
Yeah. 100%. They're professionals, they're athletes. I think too, like talking about like sponsors, it's like a lot of people say you got to win to get a sponsor, and I disagree with that.
I disagree 100%.
Dude, think about them rodeos this summer. Now JB has won a lot, and that's what's made, but essentially right now, like, he could go to whatever rodeo and buck off. He'd get one jumped.
Seen it.
And then someone else go 90, and them kids, they're running up to JB still, because he's got a brand.
Fort Worth last week.
He's established his brand.
We couldn't walk 4 or 5 steps
because of
JB.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Like, when you're just blaming on JB. Oh, we're going to go hang out with JB? Yeah, we're going to hang out with JB. Oh, we get a free dinner because of JB.
Right.
We're going to get the box of salsa because of JB.
He's a 2-time world champ. He's not the best example of that, because he's won a lot, and that's what's helped him build his brand. But there's a lot more that goes along with his brand. Like, for instance, I give way more merch to influencers than I do rodeo cowboys. And it's nothing against, I don't have anything against rodeo cowboys, but, like, it's the attention. These influencers, this girl, this guy, they may have 200,000 followers, and they're going to be wearing this shirt in this YouTube video that gets 43,000 views, as opposed to, this number 43 bull rider in the world who's going to win Longview, Texas, and 9 people are going to see the Rodeo Time patch on his event. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to sell Witcha digits. You tell me which one's better for me. Which one should I give?
It's simple.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to get off my podium. Let's talk about something else. How many NFRs you been to?
Headed to number 9.
How many PBR World Finals you been to?
I've been selected for 8, but because of COVID, I've made 7.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Sat at home in 2020, watched the PBR finals.
Do you know who gave it to you?
You know where
you don't
I
have
got
to
it.
say it. Did you get it from this guy?
No, I never had it.
See, yeah.
That's a lie.
I never had it.
I know exactly where we went, exactly how we got it, and
I never got it.
It's
it was just
funny
meant to
because
be.
it's just one of those things. Same thing with me. Not near as a devastating thing for me
It was a
as it
big
was
blow.
for you. And for instance, like Jacob's Crawley had to
Yes.
miss the last perf last year. Like devastating. I had to miss 9 days of a booth, but I didn't. I actually I spent it right in here. Gabe had like we lifted weights. We rode horses every day. I had a colt at the time. Rode him every day. Like it was like bliss.
Yeah.
But if you were doing all that and having to watch, anyways, enough about that.
Yeah.
Number 9 and number 7. Still feels like your first, I bet. What's it feel like going into number 9?
Man, it's crazy. I mean, it's you think after 9 years, you know, the calls that come and everything that goes into it, you think it would get easier. And I think for me, it's gotten way, way worse as far as anxiety and the waiting and wanting to get the call or get the call. And it's getting worse. And
Yeah.
I think it's just because, I mean, it's like anything. All great things are going to end at some point, you know. But at the same time, this year, you know, Nathan Hart, you know, we've been fighting bulls together since 2007, I think. You know, this is a guy that I when I first met him, run into him, and he had a Nike check on the side of his cowboy hat and had 47 bandanas tied onto his baggies.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was rodeo clown, you know. And we got hooked up. We got to work in these little rodeos together. And then we're going to the practice pens. And then pretty soon we're going to a bunch of really big bullfights together and traveling the country together. And it's just really cool to see a new face getting that call. And really, because it does take me back to the first time that I got to get the call. And he thinks he has an idea of what's coming in 2 weeks. But until he walks down that tunnel, he doesn't have an idea.
Well, when you say that, you're talking about like more of like what's going to hit him emotionally. Yeah, you're not talking about the bulls.
No,
Yeah.
the bulls, that's a no-brainer. I
Yeah,
mean,
he can
that's
handle
what we
that.
deal with, and that's
Right.
what drives us every day. But as far as the emotion,
What are some of the big rodeos he's worked?
and he does like Caldwell, Idaho, Rodeo Austin, does multiple. He's been to Salinas for the last however many years. You know, he works. I can't name them now, as you got me on the spot.
What have you worked with him?
But Caldwell is one of the really big rodeos. I get to work with him every year. But we've fought bulls together since 2007, you know, and talking back to like the ladder and climbing a ladder. Like I remember going, and Cody can attest to this. He was there that night, but we get a call and, hey man, we're gonna buck some bulls down here, and can y'all come fight bulls? I'm like, duh. I mean,
No brainer.
that's a no-brainer.
Where?
We're going.
Where?
Danny Hicks.
We went to Danny Hicks down in,
Scary.
Oh, just like a random practice pen?
yes.
Scary.
Gotcha.
Where was this at?
Rush Springs.
Rush Springs, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We pull off the road, dude.
This in 07?
Nah,
Oh,
9 probably.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Like we were.
You and Harp,
Yeah.
you pull off the
We're
road.
And Garretson, we're all together.
Were you fighting bulls?
No, I'm
You're
just
just hanging out.
tagging along.
Gotcha.
He's bronc rider full time.
Yeah, I got you.
And like we
I'm
got
just
this
here to ride
address and we're like, we drive by it a couple times. We're like, what? This can't be it. Dude, it's like a junkyard.
Ugh.
Cars stacked, and I'm like, this can't be right. So we call, hey, yeah, man, where all them cars are stacked up. There's a little path you drive through there.
2-track.
I'm like, oh Lord. Sure enough, dude, we roll back up in there and go through all these cars and everything else. It's crushed and metal, and it's kind of spooky. And you're thinking, what else is to come?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be bucking bulls. We roll up in there. There's this tiny, tiny arena. It's no bigger than this table, dude. It's got one buck and shoot.
That is the buck and shoot and the outgate. And it can be a right or a left-hand delivery.
Yes. It's
It sounds like something that somebody should make.
Yeah.
And sell.
It's-
Yeah.
Like reproduce. Yeah.
No. So we
It
get
sounded
out of the
pretty
car.
versatile.
Well, Jody Wright and them Junk Bull Company has been around right there, Oklahoma, my entire life. Like, these are the guys that had bulls at all the open rodeos when I was a kid, and then breaking into getting some jobs, getting to go work them same open rodeos. Jody and them have the bulls. Jody and Stoney, great people, and they would do absolutely anything to help anybody.
Oh, yeah.
But they have the biggest.
There.
And I don't know, I really don't know their situation because I haven't really exactly been there. But just judging by every time I see their bulls, they're 5 years old, never seen human, and they are huge. Big
And
old
mean.
black and white spots that
And
plumber bred bulls that are mean. So we roll up into this junkyard, and I'm like, man, this is not looking good for the home team at all. And sure enough, there's the back pen right there. There's 10, 12 bulls, big old jokers, 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, ain't ever seen human. And this arena is the size of this table. And sand's deep. We walk out in the arena. The three of us pull a tractor tire, like a split tractor tire that was like buried halfway.
He hit it with the drag. And
Yeah,
the
he's
drag,
dragging
like,
the
jumps up like
boom,
6 foot off the ground. And this tractor tire comes up out of the arena.
Then there's tires like holding posts down.
like what's the point of dragging? There's a tractor tire out
Yeah,
there. Like, the ground around the tractor tire will be nice and fluffy.
He may have tried to cover it up.
There's a big old bathtub over in the corner right there behind the gate.
That's where they water
the
'em.
gate side. Yeah, that's where they water them.
Yeah.
So it's a bathtub full of water sitting
Yeah.
there in the arena, and I'm like, dude, and it's a big, tall, 8-10 wire, cable fence, top rail, and they load them, and we start fighting bulls, and I mean it.
You just fought them, or they were bucking.
Well, they were
bulls?
bucking
They
them,
were
but
bucking
then,
them,
of course, we're gonna. If anything stuck its head out that was mean, we were going to them. Like it.
Yeah.
That's how it was. Like
Was this your first
craving.
experience with harp, or just one of the old?
Oh
ones?
no, this is just one of the times.
Yeah,
I mean,
one
one
of
of the many times.
Right.
But I remember like we getting hooked up and just fighting this bull, and I mean this bull's mean, big, scary, and mean, and like it was a last ditch effort to save my bacon. I throw a really sweet right hand fake on him, and like I don't know exactly how it all played out, but I remember this whale of a bull end up laying beside me. Like he took the fake so hard, and that sand and everything, all 4 feet come out from underneath him, and he just splats right beside me. And I'm like, I could hear his air go out of him, and I was like, that may be the coolest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
And like Nathan, I mean, like there's multiple times like we're at another practice pen, he gets throwed completely out of the arena. Like it's crazy. So many cool stories.
Looking back, and now all of a sudden,
looking back,
2021, you're both at the NFR.
we're both getting to go to the finals together. And
That's awesome.
And we're so excited. Talking to Dusty Tuckness,
he's
he's
the third guy.
we're just so thrilled to see
I love that.
Nathan Harp going.
It's all three of you guys in the arena at the same time, rather than just like two of y'all and one
And
guy
an
there.
alternate sitting there. Yeah, it's a
'cause
cool deal.
It's like, hey, we're adults. We can learn.
We can
how
all
to
work together.
rotate in and move around. Like we can handle ourselves. Yeah, it's the NFR.
Yeah, it's the finals.
Right. Yeah, we can handle three in the arena. Man, what's the bull rider selection? Man, I saw Braden Richardson made it. Dude, he's
Rich.
from like my neck of the woods. Be stunting. Isn't
Be
that his
stunting.
Instagram account?
Oh, yeah.
Be stunting.
Be
I
stunting.
was so pumped when I need to text him. I haven't talked to him. I haven't seen him in a little while, but like,
Dude,
man, he's just
Ellensburg,
like-
he's borderline. Like he's got to do some good between Ellensburg, Pendleton, them last couple rodeos that count.
Yeah.
He's got to make it count or he ain't going. He's like number 16, 17 maybe.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can tell the pressure's there, and the kid drove a Dodge pickup all year with no camper.
Yeah.
Sleeps in the back seat.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like, what point are you like maybe getting a van with like at least a mattress, like,
Right.
where you can at least? Oh man, that back seat's good, man. Like,
Well, he's not that tall.
no, he's like 4 foot tall.
Yeah, he's pretty short.
But like to see him come into Ellensburg and stomp them down at the Extreme Bulls, become the Extreme Bulls champ, like punched his ticket right there.
Yeah.
And then you could see like all the weight come off his shoulders.
Man.
Rolls into Pendleton, kicks their butt.
It's just what's neat for me about that moment is why seeing him, you know, I'd see him at different bull ridings, see him at different rodeos, like for a long time, for years. Like I've been knowing him a long time. And there's just a lot of young guys that come up, and he was never one, like he wasn't like this, you know, arrogant guy. I'm not saying he was arrogant, but like, it's like, hey, I'm here to ride bulls, and I want to be good, and I'm going to do my best to make it to the NFR. Well, there might be 40 guys at that bull riding that are acting and thinking the same thing, but he's the only sonbuck that did it. You know what I'm saying? So like years later, you see him make it, and it's just like, man, them other guys, some of them might own their own businesses, some of them got families, a couple of them might be in jail. Some of them work for, you know, and then, but this one, he meant it.
He meant it.
Back then, he
100%.
meant it. And that's cool to watch. It's
and
like,
he's still the same way. But like at some point, Be Rich, if you're watching this, let's get a van.
yeah, you got to get, good time in rodeo van.
And here's the deal. Like,
Probably get better gas mileage.
like you drive by and it's like noon and that old Dodge is cranked up running. And you're like, that's Be Rich.
Yeah.
And you walk over there, and I mean, that mullet's all sprouted out, and he's just snoring, son.
This is the time. It's like, well, go to your first NFR and win you a couple of rounds, and then get you one.
Yep.
You ain't got to spend the whole check on.
I had the Lincoln hot rod, dude. I drove the Lincoln for multiple years there.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like thinking like bullfighters. You see them guys come in, and maybe they go to those same practices that you and Harper at in 09, and they're like, man, this is something, I'm gonna do it, blah blah blah. And it's nothing against them if they change their mind and go do a different profession, or maybe the injuries, or they have unexpected children that change their, like, you can think of them guys. Well,
oh yeah,
Harp's one of them. Like when he said it in 07 and 09, he meant it. And now he's here.
He's
like,
here,
that's
man.
Cool.
And to attest to that, the surgeries he's went through. I mean, he's had hip surgery, a couple knee surgeries. I mean, all kinds of broken bones. This guy has had the 8-ball placed on him. And to see him keep coming back, keep going through the fire, and to make it, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's just neat to watch guys.
But you can see the difference. You could tell that Nathan back then, he didn't know what he was doing, but he had that eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
He is Clint Atkins every weekend in the locker. You got the eye of the tiger, Webb? I'm there, baby. Trust me.
Hey.
Frank Newsom. It doesn't matter if we're working cows in the pasture, if we're at a bull school, it don't matter. Dude. This guy he does the coolest thing you think you've ever seen him do on TV doesn't compare to what I've got to witness him in his boots and spurs in the cow pen. Or
let's talk about this for a second. Let's do the math for people. 07. That's 14 years.
14 years.
Can you imagine going to, like, maybe you go to a school, you go to a rodeo, you see it, and be like, I want to be a bullfighter. And if somebody like tells you, all right, it's going to take you 14 years, a decade and a half, you're going to be at the NFR. Like, how many people would be like, okay,
I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, I'll sign up for 15 years before I can go.
I'll eat Allsup's burritos and
accomplish my dream.
Hang out with Alan McCloy. Yeah, I'll do that.
Have 9 surgeries, like and then have to sit out, go back to fencing.
Absolutely not.
14 years in one of the roughest.
And I haven't thought of it that
profession. Dude, imagine 2007, Nathan Hart, and it's like, hey man, you're gonna make it. It's gonna take you 14 years. No, he's accomplished a lot of goals. Like,
yeah, no
circuit finals. Hadn't he fought the national circuit finals?
National circuit finals.
I'm not saying
circuit
this is
finals.
the first thing he's
won every big bullfight,
but
freestyle bullfight that there is.
For rodeo cowboys, this is the Super Bowl.
But to say that, say, okay, here you are, 14 years from now, you're gonna get to go to the NFR.
Let's put it in. Yeah, we could tell like a young quarterback, hey, this is your rookie year. Yeah, you're 21. Man, when you're 35, you're gonna make your first Super Bowl. You'll make your first Super Bowl. they'd be like, well, damn, I got to wait for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But that's 14
heavy.
years of getting to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying it's miserable. I'm just
No,
saying.
there's and that's what people don't understand is like the actual freedom that comes with what we get to do.
Yeah.
Rodeoing, going to bull ridings is you are your boss, and that's what is so hard to get through. All these kids coming to the camps right now, and like just young kids reaching out, like, well, man, what do I do to, like, you don't have a coach say, hey, here's your workout. You don't have a coach saying, hey, here's you a cow, go fight her. Hey, here's this. This is how you eat. This is how you train. This is what you do for this week. And then next week you're going to do this. And then a week after that, you don't have that. So you have to be your own boss. You have to be hard on yourself. But at the same time, man, the things that I've gotten to do through rodeo and bull riding, the opportunities, the country I've got to see, I mean, it is the best life.
It's the epitome of freedom.
It's freedom.
It's the epitome of freedom.
And it ain't always sunshine and rainbows
No.
with freedom.
Dude, it's my most favorite thing in the world is stand on the back of the bucket chutes, listen to the national anthem. And it's and I'm not
That
trying
right
to be,
there, that dude, that just made my hair stand up.
Yeah.
dude, I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to be any of that. I'm not I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm just saying before
Game
anybody ever started like standing up, whatever.
That's
taking
when
a
the
knee,
game
whatever.
changes.
I'm saying for the last however many years of my life, standing on the back of the chutes, wherever you're at, whether it's 20 miles from the house or 5 states away, like that moment, you're just like, man, I'm at a rodeo. I entered it, or I decided to drive. I took this job. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm going to do this adrenaline sport that I love. And then I'm going to like, whatever. I'm going to do whatever.
Well, like, what did you say the other day, G? Like, you're like, he said something. He compared it to, well, have you done this more, or have you heard the national anthem more? And I was like, actually, I've heard the national anthem more.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for
Yeah.
almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And every rodeo, every bull riding starts with the national anthem.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad, it was the national anthem. We were at some sporting event, like maybe a high school football game or something. But I was like a kid. And national anthem played somewhere. It might have even been on TV. And he yelled, "Hawk it in on bareback riders."
Hawk it in them.
And I'll never forget it. Every time, I try not to say it every time I hear it now, but every time the national anthem starts, I can hear my dad
Get
saying,
them riggins tied. I
Hawk it
don't
in
want
'em.
them slipping.
"Hawk it in on bareback riders." Like, that's like, anyway, that's what I need to,
That's the
that's the
cool
new
stuff.
shirt.
Yeah.
That's a new shirt.
That's a good one.
Hawking in on bareback riders and the American flag on it.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. That would be tight.
That'd be tight.
That would be cool.
That's America.
Yeah. Hawk it in on bareback riders. Yeah. Anyway.
Like, we were hustling and bustling trying to get here a little bit earlier than we did. And I'm like, gee, I'm thirsty, dude. You want to get a drink? And then, like, pretty soon I'm, like, looking at the clock, and I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe we ought to roll on, you know? And I'm like, gee, you want a drink? Well, I mean, I thought you said you wanted to drink. Yeah. And then he's like, we're Americans. We can do what we want, how we want, when we want,
With
Yeah.
who we want.
with who we want.
with however
We're getting a drink at Love's.
with an unlimited amount in the magazine as we want. Like as many
Straight
pow-pows.
talk.
Sorry, I said I wasn't going to go there, but I had to a
Pow-pow.
little. Pow-pow. Anyway, so NFR. What is today? It's the middle of November. When are you going out there?
I think
We're
we're leaving the
leaving
28th,
What day of the week is that after?
Sunday.
I think we're going to leave Saturday. We might just stay in Amarillo, and then just 12 hours Sunday.
This is all I'm going to say is I'm going to drive 4 hours to Amarillo, and I'm going to go about 15 minutes detour. I'm going to pick up my Jordans, custom made.
Oh, you got some J's?
Yep.
I got some J's coming.
Like some for real Jordans?
Like for real.
Custom.
Custom bullfighting Jordans.
What?
Top of
wait.
the line.
You're not like, this isn't like a nickname for like some other brand.
No, I'm talking
Of-
Jordans.
Some Jordans.
Coming from Dean Randolph, the boot
J's.
company, boot man.
Oh, you're talking about boots.
No.
No, I'm
No.
talking about some J's.
With cleats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Some
What does
bullfighting
Dean have
cleats.
to do with it?
He building them.
Yeah, he makes shoes now too.
No.
He made
Dude, have you
Nelly's.
not seen his Instagram?
Yeah, he made
He just
I
got
follow
done. He
him.
just got done with Nelly's shoes.
He doesn't
I did
post.
hear
He's not a
that.
very consistent poster.
He's not a consistent poster, but they're legit. That's all I'm saying.
And
Oh,
you're pretty
dang.
high up on the list because you got
Yeah, I got
jumped
moved
in front
ahead
of Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather. So feel pretty good about
What?
that.
He's making shoes for Floyd Mayweather?
Yes. He just got done with Nelly's.
Well, I knew that. Dang.
That's
He's
awesome.
making Tom
I got a
Brady
pair of
son.
Dean Randolph
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen your picture on there.
I've got a lot of custom boots.
It's like next level
Yeah.
NFR bullfighting shoes.
Dang.
I mean, I'm stoked.
I've got a couple of pairs of custom boots made. His are some of the most comfortable.
That's what everybody says.
First time you put them on, it makes no sense to me when people are like to a custom boot maker, like, well, you got to wear them for a little bit and then they get well.
Yeah, you gotta
that's
get them broke in.
that's any shoe. Like you could literally like make a shoe out of cardboard, and once you get it broke in, it'd probably feel better than when it started. But his boots, they
As
feel
soon as you
good
put them on.
right when you put them on.
Yep.
Yeah, Dean Randolph plug, but it doesn't sound like he needs a plug.
No, he don't. But
You make
It's just
shoes
so
for
cool
Floyd
'cause,
Mayweather and Nelly and
like, we're
Cody
at the-
Webster.
he was the judge for the PBR finals, and so like I'm walking out, and he's like, "Webb, you see these shoes?" And I'm like, "No, man, sit down." So we sit down, we start scrolling through all these shoes he's building. I was like, "Dude, like, I wish we'd have known this like a month ago." Like I'm thinking, it takes a long time to get something like this rolling. He's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, that'd be cool, like, to build a bullfighting cleat for the finals." And he's like, "Done.
Dang,
We're doing it." And I'm
that's
like,
awesome.
"We literally have 3 weeks." And he's like, "I've got it.
Yeah.
It's a done deal. Pick them up on your way through."
Yeah, I got,
And he's killing me with the suspense because I'm like, "Dude, update me. Like, what do you got going on?" And he's
Right.
like, "Don't worry about it." And
yeah.
like, you like fighting bulls, huh? And like untipped bulls. And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Okay, I've got something working." So now I'm just sitting over here just sweating.
I got those boots of his that I have. Like, I really do. I try not to wear them too much because I want to like have them a long time. They say you ain't no cowboy on the front, and
He ain't
anyway,
no cowboy.
you ain't no cowboy.
Ain't got
But-
no pair of Dean Randolphs.
When's your next rodeo, Cody?
Next weekend, Miami, Oklahoma,
How many broncs you been on total? How long you been riding?
Ooh.
since 07.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we
when-
all kind of got rolling
yeah.
together.
What
Same
What is
time.
that? Prairie Circuit?
Yeah, like I ain't been going pro rodeoing here lately because I've been working and
Yeah.
that. Been going to
Have you
some-
been to the Prairie Circuit finals?
Yeah, 2012.
Nice.
Yeah,
Where do they have those?
Duncan, Oklahoma.
Do they?
Yep.
You probably fought those finals quite a bit.
Just a couple.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
There's
are
some-
they?
There's some qualification errors. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go into any more detail on that, but
Okay. Sounds like somebody's a little salty still.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got a young aspiring bronc rider here.
Yes, sir.
Donnie Daytona.
You got
Hello.
Yeah.
what's some advice you got for him? If you had to give somebody one piece of advice,
Quit
young
smiling.
bronc
Like, get
rider.
serious.
Yeah, get serious, Cody. Hey,
I need
we're
this.
not joking. He
Yeah.
needs this.
Man, everybody told me from the time I started, like, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. Kind of going back to like what you said, like
Climbing the ladder.
climbing the ladder and
If
You're
that-
not going to get on the hoppers. You're not going to get the nice.
yeah, we
little
were talking about that on the
snickerdoodles.
way here. Like you got,
You got to earn your stripes.
yeah, like it's just gonna suck
Yeah.
until everything slows down. Like you've been on some bulls,
Mm-hmm. Just a few. Not
right?
very many.
But like,
How many horses you been on, Donnie?
yeah,
Probably around 100.
He's been on more horses than he has bulls.
Right.
Yeah,
but
I
like-
probably got on
like that's
30
how I
bulls.
started. Like I was getting on bulls, and then I got on them horses, and I'd like black out, and then like I get on a bull, and I'm like, this is slow.
Yeah.
And like just last year, like I got on a bull, just jacking around, and I'm like, if it was just like slow motion, I knew what he was gonna do before he did it. But like it just takes time. Like I didn't really like spur one like every jump until like I'd been doing it for like 3 years. Like
Well, that's good to know.
it's the hardest thing.
That makes me feel a lot better about
It's the hardest thing to
about
figure
myself.
out, I think, in the riding events. But once you figure it out, it's the easiest.
I would say, it took me more like 6.5 years
Yeah.
to spur one every jump.
I mean,
it took me a long time.
I got lucky because like that when we started coming up, Rusty Moreland,
Rockin' our rodeo. Big props to him.
Yeah,
So he gave us a start.
Webb, Harp. That's where we kind of started.
Yeah.
And I showed up, and he was like, "Hey, kid, like if you want to do this, you show up at all my rodeos. I don't care how many days they are. The last day of the rodeo, you enter, but the other days, you get on whatever you want back here.
Yeah.
And I'll load it."
And you were working for him?
No,
You were just
I just showed up.
Yeah.
And like bronc riders.
This is also the same guy that I got in a fight with when I was 15 years old.
This is
win?
before you
Because he would not let me in money the hard way.
Did you win?
Well,
more of a
a year
shouting
later, it was a shout match.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
hey, a year later, he did hire me.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
sorry.
That was funny. Then that was the same place where was that at? Elmore City?
Elmore City.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say, you said, if you want to do this,
Yeah.
when he said that, I thought you were going to say, let your binds out.
Yeah.
Because that's
when
what,
in doubt, let it out.
Yes.
yes. Man,
Yeah.
that was when it changed.
Man, I went to a
Yeah.
school a couple weeks ago, and the first day it was pretty much a wash because I was just getting blown out of my swells.
Yeah.
With, like 2 jumps in.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I did that the other day,
what
like
the hell?
2 weeks ago. I don't know what happened, but like I got on like 2 little bitty horses, and then the third day I got on a pretty good sized bronc, and I crawled down in there and I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
And I just like unbuckled the hood and let them out, and away we went.
There's been like, I don't know. I don't want to say any names. There's a couple bronc riders that have helped me over the years that very few times does someone just say, like, you need to tighten your stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you're
yeah.
having trouble, like, but there is a point where it gets to where, they call it bicycling,
yeah.
where like, it's like they're not even there. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's just too far out. But
Yeah.
like the binds that used to come on a doll saddle,
Yeah.
like you would almost have to replace them. They just wouldn't
Yeah.
go out far enough.
Right.
Like you put them on the last. If you had, I don't know what he's putting on saddles these days.
I don't know.
I'm
I
about to
wish
find
I could.
out.
I wish I could find out because I would like to know where mine is.
You got one ordered?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you send a
Brand
check?
spanking new.
No.
I gotta call him. We sent a check for Donnie's last week.
Oh, I thought it was done. It's not in the mail?
I sent the check last week. That's what I said.
Yeah, mine's.
We
not
haven't
even-
got the saddle.
I know.
That part's not done. The transaction is not complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't received our product that we've paid for, but we have paid for it. I need to see if he cashed a check.
Yeah. He keeps telling me, "Oh, I don't have that tree yet. I don't have that tree yet."
Man, we ordered ours like in the spring.
He said,
Yeah, I ordered mine
It's
over
like-
the summer.
Well, Donnie went to school the other day, and he was like, he saw somebody. He's like, yeah, I got this last week. When'd you
Yeah.
order it? The week before.
He'll do that.
yeah.
But in his defense, like there are some guys that come along. It's like, hey man, I'm going to the NFR. Just broke my saddle. Like
Part of the ladder.
Yeah.
that's
Part
part,
of the ladder.
and that's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so long as it's not some high school kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just getting started.
Yeah. Yeah.
This will be my first bronc.
Yeah. Got a brand new doll last week.
Plus, if Dave Dahl lost a customer, he'd probably still be able to sell saddles.
Yeah. That's what. And like I sat in one the other day, or I sat in Tyrell Larson's
Yeah.
the day before I ordered mine, and I was like, why? Why did it take this long to make this saddle feel this good?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he did, but there's something different from
Dahl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the saddle I'm riding right now is the saddle that Tyrell made the NFR in. That year
Gotcha.
he made it. And like it doesn't even
Yeah, I've
Night and
heard.
day.
I've heard some guys. It's like there's a couple things sometimes when you got one of them saddles.
yeah.
Well, if you change this about it, then it'll be perfect. And I was like, I asked somebody the other day. I was
Yeah.
like, we're getting one in. Do we need to send it to so and so to change? And he was like,
Oh,
no,
my
you ain't
God.
got to change them anymore.
Yeah.
You can just put it on a horse.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Because we went to
I was
Salt Lake.
blown away that you have to tear down a brand new saddle
Yeah.
Well,
to fix it to ride.
the
and I'm
thing
like,
that's like
what the heck?
super, the thing that like is really important with saddles are the riggings
Yeah.
that hold the front
Mhm.
D's on.
Yeah.
Because like the way it pulls down, and that's one thing that I love about G-Bar G. Like them
They're
saddles, when you put that on a horse, that
Yeah.
rascal, like Randy has those riggings figured out.
Yeah, and they're where they're supposed to be.
And then there used to be a guy that would make West. Did you ever ride any Wests?
No.
A lot of the South Dakota guys.
Yeah,
like
I've seen a bunch
Shears,
of them
and
when I was in college at Vernon.
I've got one of those.
Yeah.
And I don't have one of the old ones. I've got the tree, the jig, and the fiberglass stuff. It's like they call it a Southwest, because my buddy here in Texas made it.
Yeah.
But those pull pretty good. But man, nothing beats the way them G-Bar Gs. But I can't think of anybody that Oh yeah, every Wright brother that's ever won a world championship
has one.
They love them, and
that's what I rode for.
I feel like Ryder Wright might be sneaking up on being like one of the greatest of all time.
I don't see how he's not. How you can't say
like,
he's not.
Like he was riding. It's funny, in Pinoca.
Dude, there were some cool kids.
Yeah.
Dude, he was riding a stupid small saddle. It was 15 and something. Like up until last year, he was riding his same saddle he rode in high school. Like, I want to say he went to his first 2 NFRs in a saddle that would be like whatever size you're riding, like minus a half inch.
I ain't doing it.
And winning world titles.
Yeah.
Winning world titles in a saddle half an
Getting
inch
on Killer
smaller.
B.
Yeah.
Getting on Killer B. Like, it's not he didn't win the county fair.
No.
He won the world
Yeah.
anyway. But it just speaks to like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all of them. Cousins. It's almost like you can just like hang out with them one time.
Just touch them.
And you just start like Coburn rides really good.
Yeah.
Like all them guys that run around over there, like just
You're as good as who you go with. And I'm a
Exactly.
firm believer of that.
100%.
That
Them
was-
guys, they travel together, they eat together, they all help each other. Like, there's something to that.
That was the
Dude.
very first thing
When,
I was told.
Yeah.
Is like you gotta go
Be
with the
around.
the right
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I was like, freaking Jacobs. Whenever he would change something, I was like, well, dang it. I guess we're back to not wearing tights. It's like, I didn't lick my swells in my saddle. I was like,
Him and
but
Sterling.
I just had no problem, man.
and
they-
that saddle
I
is
had
like
no-
just
I got the mark.
inked
Yeah, I
up
didn't
for
do
them
that.
licking.
I was like, that can be your thing.
Yeah.
Like, I will replicate everything else, but I'm gonna let you have that one.
It's-
But like just where it
Dude,
sits.
I got to tell you this story.
Let's hear it.
Speaking of the crawlies, so like I'm young hotshot. I'm in Denton, Texas, working for Andrews,
Oh yeah.
pro rodeo. You know, here comes Sterling, here comes Jacobs, and like I'm running the neck rope. And I at this point, like I'm young in the PRCA, but like I've been rodeoing, and I've been through the Logan McCloy, learn how to run a neck rope, and you don't do it right, you get a very large ass chewing.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there running the neck rope, and everything's good. You got me, Webb? Sterling. You got me? Got you, dude. And this bronc, gets wild, goes to bucking, thrashing, trying to flip. I nail it. I got it perfect. Gets out of there, and this bronc blows up and rolls out of there, hits, and that first hit, like feet slide out from underneath him or whatever it was, and that horse goes down, just flops on Sterling. Well, like, I hadn't quite been at this point yet in my career, so like I'm like, man, should I run and get on that bronc's head, or should I get, and I'm sitting here doing the pitter patter feat, what we call it in bullfighting, because you're just watching so much other than getting in there and getting this guy unhung. So like I'm doing all this jumping and moving, and I and it's like 10 minutes long in my brain.
Yeah.
Sterling looks at me and goes, Webb, are you going to just stand there and let me die? And he says that, and I run and bail, jump on this bronc's head and hold him down. He gets loose and gets out of there. And till this day, I've never forgot in Denton, Texas, when that bronc fell on him. He's like,
you probably don't
calm
remember
and cool
what
as day.
night of the week it was, dude.
no, but he's like, are you going to just stand there and let me die?
Everybody wants the Sunday perf there at Denton, and so he would sometimes, it would frustrate him. Not James, not Sammy. James would he'd put colts out on Sunday because like 43 people would want Sunday, 2 people would want Saturday, and 3 or 4 would want Friday. Just because if you got the Sunday perf, then you could go to 4 rodeos that weekend rather than just 3, or whatever. Yep. And so he would put
economics.
So he'd have like fire lane and something on Friday, And so I was like, ooh. So next year,
yeah,
I entered myself. I was like, it's Friday. And I saw James, like it was like the week before. He's like, I'll see you Friday. And it was like 2 of us. And here I come next week. And I was like, what the hell, James? I got this colt on Friday. And he was like, and? You told me every year. He's like, I was like, I've been looking forward to Denton all year. Like, what am I going to have? Fire lane? Am I going to have, like, there's like 19 different, maybe just tater tot. Like, might not even pull a check, but it's going to be fun,
Yeah.
And I was just like, give me something. He's like,
anything.
He was like, oh, yeah, I do normally do that. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Anyway, I imagine if something fell on its side, I could see it being on Sunday. Unless I entered Friday, then anyway, whatever. Sterling is he would have to be in a bind like that to have any sort of aggression behind his voice.
Well, it still wasn't real aggressive.
I was going to say,
like,
it
was just like, Webb, are you going to stand there and let me die?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell no. I'm bailing off in there,
I love going down the road with Sterling. He's pretty chill, pretty laid back.
They're good folks.
Jacobs is the boss.
He is the boss, but they're still fun.
Oh, yeah. No, I love going down the road with Jacobs, too. I'm saying, like, just like when you're going down the road, it's like, it's I don't mind it because it's just like, whatever, let Jacobs decide. When you're going down the road with Sterling, it's just like, it's kind of the opposite. He's like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do. Like, wherever you're eating or whatever.
Straight dog.
Yeah, so that's what I remember thinking. It's like, he was wearing tights down to his knee, and I was like, all right, I gotta get tights down to my knee. And then one rodeo, it was like, it had been a while since I'd seen him, and he wasn't wearing tights. And I was like, what the hell? You were gonna text me? Did we change? You were gonna text me?
Send me an email, man.
I see you're taping your left ring finger now. You didn't use it. What the hell? We're not.
That's what Jacobs do.
Yeah. Because dude, there was at one point my bronc ride, like that was at the 6.5 year mark. So I was like, dude, I'm tired of this. Like it's not me. Like I'm just gonna like pick somebody who, and Jacobs was a close friend, and I'm just gonna mimic. And he was like, man, I think we need you to let your stuff out. We were on the way home from Altus, Oklahoma. Me, Alide, him, my brother. He was like, I think we're gonna let your stuff out. And that was when everything in my bronc ride changed. And so that was when I was like, it was like, not only was, going to a couple of NFRs at the time. He may have not even been to the NFR yet at that time, but he ended up, he's been to 10 in a row and he won the world in 15. Right. And so it was like, he gave me that advice. And then like on the horse, I think it was like D. Ritter, Louisiana. It was the first time that I, and I started moving my feet and I was like, dude, this is like, and it just clicked. And I was like, I need to listen to Jacobs. I was on the horse when I was like, I'm gonna listen to that.
Okay, so I am taping my ring finger.
Yeah, I'm gonna start listening to that guy. It was like that much of an epiphany. Yeah. And I'd been on so many broncs at the time that I was awake and I could think like that. Yeah. Well, I've been getting bucked off him for 6.5 years, so I was used to them 3 second rides. You put me up there for 8 seconds, like you said, feels like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's all it need. That's all you need, really. You just need it to click that one time, and then you'll never forget it.
Yep. Get that
you'll
feel.
Never forget it. Like I can tell you exactly where we were, what I was wearing, what color that horse was, like what I ate that day probably. Like,
Who was there?
Yeah. Webb's over in the corner selling cotton candy with the broke leg.
Yeah.
Yep. Been there.
I'm actually done riding broncs. I'm fighting bulls now.
Did you see the snap? Did you see the snap?
I've seen the snap.
Did you see the video? Give us your breakdown. What advice do you have for him?
I tell you what, I like the grit. I like the grit that you had, and even the climbing the fence part. Like you wasn't just kind of just climbing. Like when you go up a fence, you're going over. You know what I'm saying? You're not breaking a leg.
Yeah.
Great bullfighting on some baby calves,
and nobody even told him to.
I
missed a minute and a half of it on my phone because I didn't even know he was doing it. And then I heard somebody yell. And I was like, oh, Donnie's fighting a bull.
Just ready for it.
Webb commented. He said, "Big bull moves on a tiny bull," and I said, "I wanted to be like, the moves are only going to get bigger, and the bulls are only going to get smaller."
He's going to enter a UBF
No.
at the house so long as the bulls are that size.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd do that.
We're not. You don't need any of the.
hey, you know what? We can fix this. We go buck the bronc. I've got something on the
That's
trailer.
what I've been telling him. That's what I said.
She's right up your alley.
I'll have
dude.
to check her out first.
She's up your alley.
I'll
I'm
have to
telling
check
you.
her out first.
It'd be money.
Is this going to spit out some buckers or just some fighters?
Man, I don't know. So interesting fact is, Whoopah, the new world champion bucking bull,
Yeah.
Yep.
goes back to a Rex Dunn fighting cow.
Oh.
So
That bull bucks.
I've heard of lots of good bloodlines, good bulls that go back to fighting stock. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say she will or she won't, but I will tell you one thing: everything that we're raising at home will get a trip with the bucking dummy.
She's got a better chance at it than your commercial Angus cow down the street.
Definitely.
That might.
And she's
you might
got a
have.
hell of an attitude.
Yeah. Me and JB picked up some stuff that Hayden took to the sale barn, and some little bit older cows, but I mean they were good. They've been good cows, and heck, we got them at
Obviously, they
killer
kept them for
price.
some reason.
Yeah, we got them at killer price, and but if we get one calf out of them, and then take them back to the sale barn, you know what I mean? Like it's a wash. Of course, got to feed them. And then we got 14 yearlings. The only thing is, it's like there was a bull on them out of Scene of the Crash that most of these calves are out of, but then he put in a Angus bull to kind of clean them up. We bucked 4 yesterday, and I think some of them were out of that Angus bull.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you've got an opportunity. You're not heavily invested.
Right.
If you get one that bucks, like you said, take them all back. Keep the bucker.
Yeah, like so the ones that didn't buck, they'll be back at the sale barn Friday. So
Right.
we literally didn't own them but like 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put out a round bell.
Right. So, but then if 2 or 3 of them buck, pay for the whole thing. But I've always thought that I never really had much interest in getting into the production side of things until I became friends with JB.
He can talk you into a lot, can he?
He can talk you into a lot, but also like, I mean, if you were going to do anything in the buck and bull industry, he does some swapping. Like that joker does it right.
He's a wheeling and dealing.
He's one of the guys that, and people will call him about it, and he's not going to haul trash.
No.
You know, so like, and he's knowledgeable. You know, he and so he can. Anyway, it was just the right. If you were ever going to do it, that's when. Kind of like you with fighting bulls. Like if I were going to partner with anybody with fighting bulls, it would be you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, thanks.
it's not like
Could be the C-Dub, DB,
yeah.
fighting bulls.
But you probably, I don't know, how you make money raising fighting bulls.
Man, right now, just everything coming off the bull schools and getting to haul them to events, is kind of, they're all paving their way. They're paying their way and earning their keep. But I think later on down the line, when it's said and done, we're going to have a really phenomenal breeding program. And where else can you go get proven calves that have already been fought, that you know what they are?
Yeah.
This is what they are. They might cost you a little bit more.
Yep.
But instead of going and buying a trailer load of fresh bulls that you have no idea about,
Right.
I'd much rather come to the ranch and buy something that I know is proven.
So I think what it would take to not only make money with fighting bulls, but also the bucking bulls, is you would need to find, and this is what you've done, this is what I've done, multiple streams of income.
Yep.
To do that one thing. For instance, like a lot of people might think like, well, I'm going to raise bucking bulls, and then I'm just going to sell them for a lot of money. And some people are successful at that. You got like 9 people in the world that like they might make a lot of money selling a bull, and enough to pay for the other 14 out of that calf crop that didn't make it.
Right.
And maybe it offsets, but like what you're doing, you're using them not only to number one, you're going to sell them for other people to use as fighting bulls. You're going to take them to events and get like just some day money. You're going to use them for your bull schools where you teach young people like Donnie how to fight bulls.
Yep.
And then you're going to use them for content where you make money on your YouTube channel, your merch, and your sponsors.
Correct.
That's how
That's the
you
full circle.
do it.
That's
Same
the
thing
full
with
circle.
these bulls. Like they cost JB and I money, but we've also got the merch. We've also got the YouTube channel. He's gonna he keeps all the money that we make like on the actual bull itself. So I'm sure if we hit like a big lick and like,
But that's just it. Is like you're saying though, like do different things in order to be able to do that, you know. And like talking with Ashley the other day, like we had to get everything together and kind of figure out where we were. But like between the commercial cows, between the schools, and then hauling the fighting bulls to events, you know, they're paying everything. Their feed, their hay, their time. So like it's gonna work out.
yeah. But, and I think, you know, whatever you're doing, you got to look at things with a creative mindset. For instance, if you're rodeoing, and there's probably a lot more people listening to this that want to rodeo or are rodeoing rather than want to raise fighting bulls and or fighting rodeo cows. But, yeah, like if you want to, you got to find a way to make multiple streams of income. Now, you can't, when you get to a certain point in your rodeo career, you need to have most of your time is focused on your craft. Like you got to actually be the best at riding broncs, be the best at fighting bulls, be the best at riding bulls. And so you've got to be able to execute those fundamentals. Like Michael Jordan was going to basketball practice up until the last day of his career. So
Every
like,
day.
Right. Yeah. Like what he spent his most time on was shooting the basketball, not his endorsements and all those other things.
And that's something that I think I have an edge on people like doing what we're doing is the fact that like Monday, I mean, I took the week off after the PBR finals, then Monday I started back training. And from now until the NFR, leaving for the finals, I'm training.
There's plenty of hours in the day where you can still be an elite athlete. Because, you know, you can't spend 16 hours a day on the spur board necessarily. You don't have to do, 5 days a week before the, it's not going to take that much. But if you will dedicate, like nobody does that. None of the world champions have spent 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No.
But so there's some gaps in there where you could maybe have you a YouTube channel, knowing how easy it is to start a YouTube channel, an iPhone, plus it's free. Then all of a sudden, like Webb, for instance, now all of a sudden when sponsors call him, it's not just I'm going to the NFR. It's like, well, no, I'm going to the NFR, but then I've also got all these social media platforms with all these followers where I put out consistent content, and I'm going to, and you've got
another avenue to get eyeballs on
the merch,
on their product.
And so anyways, you got to find a way to be unique and stand out. So,
but having them cattle, having the fighting bulls, the fighting cows, every day that I'm home, I see something that triggers bullfighting in my mind, whether it's looking at them cows, looking at them bulls, or Monday.
That's your foundation.
I'm starting back training. I've got 10 head of cows up right now. That is what I'm training between me and the boys at the house. That's what we're training on until NFR.
That's
so
100%.
That right there, I can go out, work out in my arena, do what I want to do in my arena, and then end the day on a live cow, a live animal.
Yeah. The foundation is your craft. Even the whole house is built around, like, you riding broncs, you riding bulls, you fighting bulls. But maybe have a little garage, you got this other side deal.
Yep.
Got a little outbuilding that's
Hustle.
for your little side hustles.
Yep.
And then you never know. It could one day turn into your main hustle.
Yes, sir.
Because you get up into them. I'd be anxious, the average age of a retiring bullfighter is probably mid to late 20s. Average age. But then your good ones, your elite ones, is probably what age do you
40.
think? Just
I mean,
average.
You're looking at average at 40 years old.
There's not very many crafts out there that it's just like you retire at 40. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't walk into like there's not like any office jobs just to be like, they turn 40 and then they throw
done.
a retirement
retired.
party.
Yeah.
You know, that's young for a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
So what you going to do when you turn 40, you know? And that's an older kind of, you better be elite if you're still doing it at 40 because
Yeah.
you probably got a family but that's rodeoing, man.
That's like, how long did Billy ride at Bar?
He-
He's like,
Every time I
He
think
was-
of old guys riding broncs, Billy Atbar
Yeah.
comes into mind.
He
Rod
was
Hay.
into his 40s.
And he was rank.
He was into his 40s.
Rod
And
Hay went when he was 40. That was his last one.
those are
Yeah.
both impressive. As one thing that I think of when I think of rough stock was Bruce Ford.
yeah.
He was 45
Yeah.
in the bareback riding.
riding. Yeah.
45 in the bareback riding. Heath Ford and Royce Ford's dad.
Yeah.
Man, where is Royce Ford? He hasn't been. I haven't seen him in a long time. You remember?
I don't know.
We used to wear green chaps.
Oh, yeah.
Ran around with Bobby Moat.
Bigger guy.
Bobby would wear the yellow chaps. He was right, or did he go with Will Lowe? There was the Wolf Pack.
Wolfpack's like Willow, Tom McFarland.
Will, Tom, Wes Stevenson.
Wes
Yeah.
Stevenson.
Was Royce in the Wolf Pack?
No.
Or was he, did he run around with
No.
Bobby?
I think he was Bobby.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was Bobby and Royce and somebody else.
I know the Wolfpack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
and
know
they
the
would play
other
that
pack.
they would play that Wolf song that like with that, what song was that? I just hear the Wolf playing, but God, that was cool, man. That was freaking cool. And then they'd play Lowrider.
I seen Wes just the other day
Yeah,
back in Cleveland, and he's doing good. It's good
He
to see
is.
him.
Yeah, got some bucking horses.
Seen Tom over the last couple of years.
I got to day work with Tom a couple times. That dude is handy. Like
even in the he's just cowboy.
he's cowboy. That's what I was gonna say. It
Sleeping
was,
in a teepee.
dude, we were
day
all in
working.
teepees and we had breakfast. This it's Monday morning. Like everybody got there Sunday night. Tom rolls in at 6 a.m. and then just day works that day. Like he was like, it was the same weekend as the Vernon Pro Rodeo, so like he had like partied and like Tom rolls in like no sleep, just unloads his horse,
Ready
and
to
we
go to
just
work.
take off. Oh my gosh, it was classic Tom. Yeah. But yeah, that was wild. He went to Houston. Do you know that story? When he entered Houston, lied about his age, went in there early,
Really?
like a year early, and won it. I think he got in trouble. I think he had to give the money back. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Like 17.
Don't quote me. I'm pretty sure he won it at 17.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah. I mean, the point is Joker's been spurring bucking horses his whole life.
Yes.
Cowboy. Cowboy. Tough.
Individual.
TUFF. Anyway, what else been going on? Donnie's fighting bulls. Going to the NFR.
Garrettson's just been spurring broncs and slinging beads, welding.
Yeah, just welding.
Yeah,
Dude, we built so much fence.
Yeah.
Stacking dimes.
We built top rail and continuous panels around a 7-acre trap.
Yeah. 7-acre trap.
Yeah. That's the bull.
That whole bull lot where all them bulls are.
Had they just been getting out?
Man, it's
Yeah.
just not terribly like it just, but you're constantly fixing
Yeah.
fence. But my biggest fear was like my neighbor, he's 80 something,
Yeah.
and I had a bull get out, and he seen him in there with his cows, so he calls his cows in the pen, goes to get out and close the gate, and bull meets him at the door.
Your bull?
Yeah, and I proceeded to really chew him out. I felt kind of bad after the deal, but I'm like, dude, anything that gets off my place, like, don't mess with it. Like, call me if I ain't home.
Oh, so he was trying to
I'll call
Yeah.
somebody else. Like,
meets him at the door, like got him down.
meets him at the when he opens his door to get out to get the gate. That bull meets him at the truck.
And just hit his truck.
Well, blew up on him and blew snot all over his pickup and had his window down. But what I'm getting
Okay.
at is like
Yeah, it could have been bad.
it could have been really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
And you're talking big mature bulls, not cows.
So
or
you made
calves.
this 7-acre trap a little more liability type deal.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah.
And I can I can't tell you how many times like be asleep in Reno, Nevada, and just wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning and just I wonder if them bulls are in.
Hope my bulls aren't
Hope
out.
my bulls aren't out, and then you're calling, and
Yeah.
it's a peace of mind.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did my front pasture, same thing. Total, I probably did like 3 acres, because we'll get some yearlings in.
Yep.
And it used to be chain link, and I was like, it's just there's nothing cowboy about chain link.
There's
nothing.
not. I hate
at
chain
all.
link.
Yeah, like unless
Your
you're
dogs crawl under it.
unless you're at the rodeo,
Tree falls on
and
it.
it's like in the back, and it's like you whatever. Like that's the only time where maybe you can make, but an argument. But anyway, so yeah, I did a top rail, and then I did 5 strand of slick wire because I'll put horses in there. But then we did a stay every 12 inches.
Yeah.
So
I've
like-
seen, and it looks good.
Buried there.
And we buried every stay.
Yeah. It looks good.
Some of those stays, thank you very much. Some of those stays are kind of long, tall, and they were like, "Can we cut off part of it?" I said, "Nope." I said, "Bury every one of them. You want to be an intern to learn how to cowboy? Like, you need to learn how to run post hole diggers."
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I felt zero remorse.
Lots of knowledge in it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for the time when they got to clean out the burn bin. It's got all that ash, and it's, and that, like, I feel bad about that. That's going to suck.
Yeah.
I'm still going to make them do it. But when we talk about, you want to be an
Tying
intern,
fence days.
you want to be an intern
That's cowboy.
for a cowboy, and learn, like, your ass needs to know how to tie 'em and dig post holes. Like, I don't feel bad.
I'll see. And up till this last deal, I don't know what it is, and everybody's like, "What the hell, Webb? Like, get us a post hole digger." I like doing it by hand.
Get you like a tractor or something?
Yeah,
Like a
and
auger.
Skid steer.
well, when we did 50, 100, when we did like 240 post holes for this trap, I'm not gonna lie, the auger on the Bobcat was really nice.
Well, and
That
if you
ground's
knew
hard.
you knew you were going to do 250 in like some decent dirt that's not that bad, that's one thing. And you're not in a hurry. But if you're going to have to, if some of the
We
ground
built this
is
trap
like,
in like 9 or 12 days of work.
yeah, if you're in a hurry and you got to get like the go through some of that hard clay, and it's very inconsistent, yeah, you might as well get.
Yep.
Man, we get feed. We'll go pick up feed like 6-7 pallets at a time. And sometimes people complain. I shut them down. Like, we need a good tractor. Like, all right, one of y'all's asses got to go home.
Yep.
I'm not gonna pay this many people to work here, and then also have a tractor. So once every 2 months we can use it. You want me to get a $50,000 tractor to unload feed
Right here,
6
baby.
times a year?
Right here.
Like,
Stay in shape.
and then we'll go unload it. It'll take 40 minutes. Like 40 minutes every 2 months. We don't need a damn tractor.
No. Doesn't justify it.
It doesn't take that long anymore. Like,
Yeah, now
with
that we got
that many
8.
interns.
Oh, dang, we got to tell that one guy to come.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. I got called that. We got another intern coming.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This one's going to stay back for the NFR. I'm pretty pumped. Like, he's willing to, like, feed for me while every other intern and Dale Brisby are gone for 2 weeks to the Super Bowl of rodeo. So, he's already, like...
We've got a new intern, too, and it's same boat. Like, he's stoked about feeding. He's stoked about checking cattle and ranching.
they are
and
out there.
cowboying, and
They are out there.
It's good to see.
I've been telling JB to get one, but man, he will have a hard time because he's like they better drink concrete in their coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Kind of tough.
That'd be tough.
Like if you want to ride bulls, like if you'll do what he says, like you'd probably be the best. Like you can make it if you make it through it, but like he's gonna put you on bulls and you need to work.
Yep.
So
It ain't gonna be pretty.
if you're out there and you want to be a bull rider and you want to intern for JB, like I would send him some videos in the DMs if I was you. But like, if you have any sort of like, you better be ready to get on like 8 bulls in a day and work a 12-hour
okay,
workday.
so like the other day he talks about taking the bulls to the college, and he said that and JB's bulls are mean, they're big, they're bulls, and like he says that these kids are like complaining, like, man, shoot fighter. How can you look up at JB and go,
Have any excuse?
Yeah.
it's like when you're in a pen with Frank, like regardless of how mean or how scary or how big the deal is, you look across there and like you see Frank, like you go to a whole nother level of beast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it brings it out of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I can't imagine like not getting on a shoot fighter at a practice pen if I want to be a bull rider.
and they still didn't get
with
all his
JB
bulls
Mooney.
bucked.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
what blows me away.
Well, and JB's bulls are not that bad. Like he liked the thing about it that makes JB different and makes people think they're all that way is JB loves it. And like a lot of stock contractors, they want that sunbuck to stand like a shot dog, and they want it to be that check these boxes, and because they know that bull riders want to create a bull that a bull wants to get on. Well, JB is a bull rider, and JB likes those kind of bulls.
Yeah,
so he likes them as a stock. You see
That's
what I'm saying?
why he's the best, dude.
And he doesn't care if they're rank, if they're like, he'll get on them. And so, but he'll, he's got some that.
But how can you want to be a college bull rider or an aspiring bull rider and show up and be a Sally in front of this guy? Like it doesn't happen, dude.
How does it not elevate your game?
Yes. How does it not take
100%.
you to the point of, okay, I'm either doing this or I'm quitting?
Yeah.
And like, it's.
Yeah, that's a good spot of like when you get there, it's like if he's got 10 bulls. Now, being nervous is fine. That means you're aware.
Nervous,
being
scared,
nervous is okay.
all that's good.
That's fine. I
But
get
at
it.
some point.
But if he brings 10 bulls and there's 6 of them that you will not get on. Now, if you've been on 2 bulls, there's a few like, if you've been on 100 head of bulls, if you're going to college rodeos, if you're trying to be a PRCA or PBR bull rider, and JB Mooney brings 10 bulls, and you're only willing to get on 3 or 4 of them, this might not be the
profession you want to take.
No.
Because you don't need to be a hobbyist.
Because here's the deal: your game's weak, and at some point that weak game's going to show up.
Yeah,
and that's the truth of it.
Yep, and not only are you going to lose money when that weak game shows up, but you're also going to get hurt. You're more likely to get hurt.
Yep.
You can't kind of ride broncs.
No.
When you nod your head.
No.
That's when you'll get hurt.
You can't do nothing half-ass.
Sometimes, a lot of times there'll be bulls like they might throw you so freaking far, and they're a little. Bronc riding, you do that half-ass.
Yeah.
You're going
to
the hospital.
Long way down.
You're going to hospital, and they're going fast.
Yeah.
And you're going underneath them.
Yeah.
And you might hang a stirrup.
Yeah.
And you.
That's the worst.
Biggest thing I hear. That's the biggest thing I hear. I've like hung my toe and like whacked my head off the ground, but like bull riders, I ain't getting on them. You'll hang a stirrup and die. Oh, okay. So you're gonna tie your hand to that 2,000-pound bull?
Or hang your spur in a
bullfight
rope.
Yeah. It's just as, but
not good.
It's really
or use the Brazilian rosin.
Yeah.
And an American rope, Dalton Castle. I'll go there.
Dalton needs to go get some Willie Sticky Rodeo Rosin.
Yeah.
This section of the podcast brought to you by Willie Sticky Rodeo Rosin. I like to think
he was welded in, dude.
Really?
Yes. It was a long, nasty hang up.
Saw it.
But that's why we get paid.
I was sitting there, I was like, who is it? Oh, it's Dalton. Y'all were like coming at him from every angle.
Every angle.
Yeah.
I finally just run and jumped on him, and like
I saw that. Yes,
I remember that. Finally got his hand to start moving out.
You guys were throwing everything at him, but the kitchen sink.
But that's what you dream of, though. Like
right.
PBR finals.
If there's ever going to be a
nasty
time,
hang up,
yeah.
Freaking crowd's packed. You're on TV. Like, let's roll.
You'd rather not like have to work a hang up like that in Danny Hicks Arena in the Junkyard.
No.
But if you're going to, it needs to be at the T-Mobile.
Straight talk.
Have you ever? What's the furthest you've drug behind a horse?
Like I've never drug. Like I've never hung a pedal. Like I'll tell you this much: when I first started riding broncs, the first lesson I got was to learn how to get bucked off.
Yeah.
Like my dad rode bulls. We had an old round pen at the house. Put my bronc saddle on the saddle horse.
Papa G showing you how to get off.
Yeah. Papa G.
And there is a lot to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A safe escape.
Yeah. And
Roll
like,
to your damn belly.
Yeah, exactly.
Try your ass off.
Yeah.
Never quit.
Yeah.
Jose, Sage.
Yeah.
I mean, list goes on. Stetson, which Stetson gets in some wrecks because he tries so damn hard. But
Yeah.
them guys, when they are getting bucked off, they still know how to land or get off.
Yeah.
Like a cat.
Yes.
You got to be an athlete. Even when things don't work out, you got to stay athletic.
Yeah. And like I remember like at first I wouldn't do it. I was like just jockeyed up. Hell, I'm not jumping off this thing. We're hauling ass around this little round pen. I just remember my dad just reached out and grabbed me. Just yanked me off.
Man, that's powerful.
Yeah.
My dad didn't do that to me.
Yeah. And
We
then
did have a lot of discussions about it, but
Yeah.
like that's a good.
I think because like I kind of like I think he was more trying to get me scared so I wouldn't do it
yeah.
than to actually like help me go on with it.
Or if that was an outcome, he was
Yeah.
okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I kind of did. Because before I started riding broncs, want to be a bull rider, blah blah blah. Dad rode bulls, this
Yeah.
and that. Well, I was like, they started hooking me and stomping on me and knocking the wind out of me, and I was like, the hell with this? I don't want to do this anymore. And then when the bronc riding deal came about, he was like, yeah, this is gonna last about as long as the bull riding deal. But
Had y'all cowboyed any? Had you been around horses?
yeah, we've been like, I don't really come from like a cowboy type background family, but like, yeah, we rode horses and stuff.
Yes,
and,
sir.
like, my uncle, my great uncle, he roped calves up until like the day he died.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was just listening to this podcast, or even just looking, it sounds like you just came off of like one of those ranches. Like you never.
Yeah.
He's
I would've
rode a
guessed-
bunch of horses.
I would
Yeah.
guess you were like born on a horse.
Yeah, like I mean, my dad's he's a welder. Like
Yeah.
he's welded from the time
Gotcha.
he was 18 till just this year. He just quit kind of welding. We still got a welding shop and stuff.
Yes,
but,
sir. So you've been getting on bulls about 14, 15 or broncs 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like we went, like did the whole high school rodeo thing, college rodeo,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. I didn't high school rodeo. I wish I had a high school rodeo, but college rodeo.
Yeah, college rodeo. That's kind of where it makes or breaks you, I think. Like just that next little step, because like when I was in high school, I thought I was, won the state twice. Thought I was hot stuff and was going all the Miami rodeos around the house. And first day of practice at Vernon College in 2011,
Yeah.
I was like, boy, I'm a low man on the pole. Like, I got to figure this out. Like, we had some pretty salty guys there.
Yes,
Like
sir.
Dawson Jandrew.
You were where? Sorry.
Vernon College.
Vernon.
Yeah.
Vernon.
Dawson Jandrew, Ty Kirkland, Dylan Henson. Like, we had a pretty
Dang.
salty group of bronc riders there.
Dylan still gets on.
Yep.
Ty doesn't.
No.
That was sad.
Yeah.
It was sad when he stopped riding broncs.
Yeah.
He was real pretty at it.
Yeah. Like, and it was just like out of nowhere. Like,
He
I was
just
just like, man.
spur the shit out of a
Yeah.
horse.
Oh, yeah. And just effortless.
Right.
It was like he was just smooching one off into a lope every time.
Yes.
Like he'd just crawl down in there, get both those pedals.
And he didn't
Just-
weigh but like 82 pounds.
Oh, little
Tiny.
bitty guy.
Tiny guy.
Little
Yeah.
bitty guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like most of what was in his shirt was air.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I liked about college rodeo was like from that point on, it's just like I felt like I didn't go to a rodeo where I didn't see someone I had met in college at college rodeos.
Yeah.
Like it's set up like,
Oh, yeah.
especially rough stock. I feel bad
Oh,
for
yeah.
Tommies. There's no way that experience is the same for Tommies as it is rough
No.
stock. Like I remember, I think my first college rodeo was Mount Pleasant, and different region than what Vernon was in,
Yeah.
but like it's East Texas, really big behind the chutes.
Mhm.
And I was kind of overwhelmed. I go in there and it's people everywhere.
Yeah.
And by the next year at that college rodeo, same one, it's like, everybody.
Yeah.
But when you first go in there, it's like everybody, you're all the same age, you're all roughies, you're all college, you've got all these commonalities, and there's a bunch of you that don't know anybody, especially the first college rodeo of the year.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's almost like a mixer that you might see on TV. You know, it's just like, let's get some name tags and we're all here to meet each other.
Yeah.
It's like you all know, like, because most people, and a lot of people at college rodeo, once college rodeo's over, they're done. You know, and they just college rodeo.
Yeah.
Their last college rodeo, they're probably not going to go to another college. They're just there for the experience.
Right.
Maybe they got a scholarship. Maybe they didn't. They just enjoy it. And so it's just like, we're all here to have a good time, period. You know, and plus that's a lot of people.
You're
that
playing your
rodeo.
last high school football game.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're playing your last college football game. You're done.
But it's cool. It's like mad respect. You know,
Yeah.
then you got guys that are also going to pro rodeos, but they like, nobody cares. Like if you just college rodeo, that's fine.
Right.
But anyways, that was what I liked about it. And then you go to, and it's just like, it seemed like everybody that was in our region also would go to Mesquite those summers. And like, so like, I don't know. And then and that was about the time Stace, you know, started putting it on rather than Rafter G, which either contractor would have been fine, but that just happened to be the crew that was running when I was there. And it was just fun to fall in with Stace. But anyway, we usually wrap up these with life advice. I feel like we could keep talking for
When in
another
doubt,
two.
let it out.
I went to a Bronx school a couple weeks ago, and they asked me, they're like, "What'd you learn?" I was like, "When in doubt, let your shit out."
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
Yeah, I'd never said that to you before.
Ever.
we had let it out, and I just slowly climbed back. I thought like
I got
There were times when you would like pull it back up, and I was just like, okay, whatever you think.
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
it's my bad.
Well, nobody can sit in it for you.
I know.
exactly. Like
I
that's
rode
what
my stuff too tight for a long time,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, you kind of got, at some point, kind of just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like you got to, but my stuff is loose. I think
Yeah.
when you went to that school, my stuff's probably looser than yours. When you went there. Yeah. My stuff, but it just depends on, also it depends on where you're at. Like as you get to the NFR, like you're
Yeah.
probably tightening it up a little bit.
It's like driving a race car. The tighter you can
Like
drive
the
it.
steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tighter you can drive it, the faster you're gonna be able to go, but the bigger the wreck's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of more like a John Deere tractor when it comes to
That's-
that. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
we're going left.
Yeah.
We're going. All right, let's go right.
Yeah.
I'm at the John Deere tractor as
Yeah.
far as like my steering
Yeah.
column. Yeah. What you got, Don? Are you y'all piggybacking? Y'all
No,
say the same
no,
thing? When in
no,
doubt, let it out.
no.
That's both y'all.
Take a chance, Columbus did.
I like it. Yeah.
Man, I don't have like catchy saying, but just get out of your normal everyday group, so to say. Go find the pros. Go see who's doing it. See who's successful. Go mimic that.
100%.
Get out and get after it.
Yeah, you got to find somebody that, and they kind of got to fit your style too. You know,
You can pick up something off everybody, but
go
go see how the pros do
just
it.
more like thinking about like really, like, there's a couple pros that they ride some tight binds.
Yeah.
There's some couple guys that just like, and it just didn't help me early on. But I just had to find the right guy. That there's a guy in business. He was like, you need to find somebody, one person, and stick to it. And I was like, okay, well, it's not gonna be you. I'm gonna go find this other guy. And anyways, it was just funny. But anyway.
Yeah, that's funny because like when I was little, like my dad, he went to LaFuse school like way back, and when would that have been? Like mid-90s maybe.
Yeah.
And like there's this VHS tape he brought back, and it was called Role Modeling with the Champs.
Yeah.
And it had like LaFew had this big old spill on his mental game, and then it was just like nonstop.
Yeah.
NFR bull rides of Tough Hedeman, no sound, no nothing.
Yeah.
And like you'd watch that and listen to all that stuff he was saying, and then watch all the bull rides, and like it was like, shit, I can do that, you know? Like
Yeah.
it was just like
That's the first step.
head game.
Right.
Believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta, and winning gives you that confidence. Believe in it.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
great confidence.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, when life hands you lemons, put a bull rope on them. That's me. So that's what
Has been.
Man, this story, I was thinking about that yesterday. My preacher did a podcast with my preacher. He was telling me a story anyways, when life hands you lemons, put a bull rope on them. That was a different podcast. Check out dalebrisby.com.
Check out the web merch.
The new web merch on dalebrisby.com.
We got it rolling.
Yeah. So check that out. We got the new web shirt. It's a throwback. Those pictures were actually taken during the filming of Netflix.
Netflix it was.
All three of those pictures. There's a cape in there.
Cape City.
Little back fake.
And a scared rodeo clown in the barrel.
Terrified. Check out How to Be a Cowboy on Netflix.
Thank God that bull wasn't any bigger.
Donnie's best buck-offs. DB's best screams in the barrel. Webb's best moves. We got 3 Netflix stars here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then text me the word podcast to 940-353-0890. By the time this is out, let me know because we're going to sign some posters. We got some posters.
We are signing posters today.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. And here's the outro music. This is a pretty cool intro song. Isn't this fun?
Love it.